Hello friends, welcome to our English learning series, a place where stories help you learn in a cozy, fun way. Whether you're a beginner or someone who just loves beautiful stories, you're in the right place. So grab a cup of tea, snuggle up, and enjoy this special story with us. Today's story is called Unexpected Connection. Let's begin. It was a quiet, rainy afternoon in the small town of Brindlewood. The kind of rain that wasn't loud or stormy, it whispered gently against the windows, like nature telling a soft secret. Inside the warm corner café called Hazel Honey, the smell of cinnamon and fresh coffee danced through the air. The windows were foggy, and soft jazz played in the background. A few people sat with books, laptops, or warm mugs in their hands. It was the kind of place that felt like a hug. At a window seat, a young woman named Maya was typing on her old laptop. She was in her mid-20s, wearing a thick knitted sweater and glasses that slid down her nose. Her dark hair was tied in a messy bun, and her eyes looked tired, but kind. She was a writer, though her ideas had been missing lately, like clouds hiding the sun. She stared at the blinking cursor on her screen. Nothing. Maya sighed and took a sip of her tea. It was chamomile, with a little honey, her comfort drink. She looked out at the rain and let her mind drift. That's when he walked in. Soaking wet, holding a broken umbrella, was a man in his early 30s with curly hair and a soft smile. His name was Leo, though Maya didn't know that yet. He shook the water from his coat and gave the barista a sheepish grin. "One black coffee, please. And maybe a towel?" Everyone in the cafe chuckled quietly. There weren't many seats left, and the only empty chair was at Maya's table. "Mind if I sit?" Leo asked, voice gentle, respectful. Maya glanced up, a bit startled. "Sure," she said, moving her bag. He sat down with a sigh of relief. "Thanks. It's wild out there." She smiled. "Looks like your umbrella gave up." "Yeah, we had a good run," he said, holding up the twisted metal mess. They both laughed, and suddenly, the air felt lighter. Minutes turned into an hour. Somehow, they started talking. First, about the weather, then, about books, then, about everything and nothing. Leo was a musician visiting Brindlewood for a short stay. He played the piano and wrote songs that nobody had heard yet. Maya shared that she was a writer, though she hadn't written anything good in months. "It's like my words went on vacation without me," she joked. "I know that feeling," he said. "My melodies do that sometimes." And just like that, a spark began. Not a loud fire, but a quiet warmth, like the glow of a lamp in a dark room. Outside, the rain kept falling. Inside, something new had begun. The next morning, sunlight peeked through the clouds, shy but golden. Brindlewood's streets were still wet from the rain, but the air felt lighter, like the world had taken a deep breath and smiled. Maya sat at her usual spot in Hazel Honey, her hands wrapped around her mug. Her laptop was open again, but something was different today. The blinking cursor didn't feel like a wall anymore, it felt like an invitation. She glanced at the empty seat across from her and smiled without meaning to. Just then, the bell above the cafe door rang. Leo walked in, holding a guitar case and wearing a dry jacket this time. He looked surprised, to see her pleasantly surprised. "You again?" he said. "You again?" Maya echoed, amused. "Mind if I—" He gestured to the chair. "Go ahead. It's becoming your seat anyway." They smiled at each other this time more comfortably, like old friends meeting again. Leo placed his guitar gently against the wall. "I'm glad I found this place yesterday," he said, "and not just because of the coffee." Maya looked down, suddenly shy. "I wrote a little last night," she said softly. "Just a paragraph, but it felt good." "That's great," Leo said, his voice warm. "Sometimes, that's all it takes. One honest line." She looked up. "What about you? Any melodies returned from their vacation?" He laughed. "Actually, yeah, a few." They sat in peaceful silence for a moment, sipping their drinks. Then Leo leaned over and opened his guitar case. "Can I play something for you?" Maya blinked. "Really? I'd love that. He tuned the strings quickly, then began to play. The melody was soft and a little sad, like a memory from a dream. But it was full of warmth, too. It told a story without words. As he played, Maya closed her eyes. She could feel the story in the notes. A lonely traveler, a rainy café, a quiet girl, a spark. When the music stopped, she opened her eyes slowly. That was beautiful, she said. Was it about yesterday? Leo smiled. It was about a connection, an unexpected one. Maya felt her heart skip. Not in a dramatic, movie way, in a real way, like something inside her had shifted. I wrote something this morning, she said, opening her laptop. Just a few lines. Want to hear? He nodded. She read aloud. The rain did not stop her from hoping. It only gave her a reason to sit still long enough to meet the music. Leo looked at her. Not just at her words, but at her. That's beautiful, he said. They both knew something was happening between them. It wasn't just about writing or music. It was something deeper, recognition, a quiet understanding. As the morning became afternoon, and the cafe filled with soft voices and clinking cups, Maya and Leo sat together, two strangers, slowly becoming something else. A writer, a musician, two stories beginning to intertwine. The sun had been shining for 3 whole days in Brindlewood, which was rare and lovely. But inside Maya's chest, a small cloud was forming. Leo's stay was almost over. He had told her gently the day before, while they sat under a tree in the town park, listening to the sound of leaves brushing against the wind. Just one more day, he said. I'll be going back to the city tomorrow. Maya had nodded. She understood, but understanding didn't stop her heart from feeling heavier. Now, she sat in Hazel, honey again, her tea growing cold. The same seat, the same window, but everything felt different. She kept waiting for the door to open. Finally, it did. Leo stepped in, carrying nothing this time. No umbrella, no guitar, just a folded piece of paper in his hand, and something uncertain in his eyes. He sat down quietly. Hi? Hi? Neither of them said much for a while. The silence was full but not uncomfortable, just meaningful. Leo placed the folded paper in front of her. What's this? Maya asked. A song. Or maybe a letter. It's both, I think. She opened it carefully. The words were written in slightly messy, but sincere handwriting. If this were just a rainy day story, we'd say goodbye at the station and never look back. But maybe stories aren't always about endings. Maybe they're about choosing to keep writing. If you ever want to write something together, a book, a song, a life, I'd like that. Leo. Maya looked up, her eyes shiny with emotion. Are you saying, I don't want this to be the end? Leo said quietly. I know it's sudden. I don't expect everything at once. But I felt something real here. Didn't you? She nodded, not trusting her voice just yet. I don't know how it will work, he admitted. Different cities, different lives. But I'd regret it forever if I didn't try. Maya folded the paper and held it close. Let's keep writing then, she whispered. 1 page at a time. He smiled. She smiled back. The next morning, Leo left Brindlewood, but not alone in heart. They wrote letters, sent songs, shared pages of poems and pieces of themselves. It wasn't always easy, but it was real. Weeks turned into seasons, and one day, Maya opened her cafe window, a familiar melody drifting in from outside. She ran out into the sunlit street, where Leo stood with his guitar and a suitcase full of beginnings. Thank you so much for joining us for Unexpected Connection, our cozy English learning story. We hope you felt the warmth, the hope, and the love in each chapter. If this story touched your heart or helped you enjoy English a little more, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and hit that subscribe button. More beautiful stories and helpful learning moments are on the way. Until then, keep reading, keep learning, and remember, every connection can lead to something unexpected. See you in the next story.